Let's go.
All right. All right, listen to me. Belief doesn't come just because you hang a sign up on the wall. All right? It comes from in here, and up here, down there. Only problem is we've all got so much junk floating around in our head. We get in the way of things. Crap like envy, fear, shame. I don't want to mess around with that shit anymore, do you? No, me neither. Hell no. You want to know what I want to mess with?
Okay, great, Christine. Let's pause. The the naturalism is great, so obviously don't change any of that. I'm missing specificity. So when you say things like it comes from in here, it comes from up here, it comes from down here, I don't I don't see the thoughts in there. I mean, say
Okay.
fear, envy, shame. I don't see it connected to something specific in your eyes. I don't need to know what it is. Like I don't
Okay.
care what it is. But this needs to be the whatever you want it to be. I mean, obviously you're pointing at your heart. So what does that mean to you? You point to your head. What does that mean to you? You point to your gut. What does that mean to you? Like we've got to see specificity. They write history when you say those words, and specifically in fear, envy, and shame. Those aren't just like a laundry list of things that you knew you were going to say. I don't think you know you're going to say any of this stuff. So fear is a specific memory or thought. Envy is a specific memory or thought. Shame is a specific, like which one means the most to you or whatever. But that's when we speak as humans, we've got stuff attached to it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're giving us natural, which is great. You've got great emotional context. What we're not. I'm not seeing a human because humans have attachments to these things. Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. Can I take it from the top?
Of course. And you could take a moment if you need to build in those thoughts. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Listen to me. Belief doesn't come just because you hang something up on the wall. All right. It comes from in here, you know, and up here and down there. The only problem is that we've all got so much junk going through our head. A lot of times we get in our own way. Crap like fear, envy, shame. I don't want to mess around with that shit anymore. You know what I mean? Do you? No, me neither. Hell no. You want to know what I want to mess with?
Okay. Pause. Better. Now, I want you to think about what's interesting about these words to me is that I want you to do it as if because I'm going to take you back. Well, I'll take you back to the top. But like, imagine that you don't know when you're going to stop talking. You certainly don't know that you're going to say this whole thing, right? So the practical version of that comes from in here and up here and down here, and then I don't want to see the thought. The only problem is that we've all got so much junk float. I don't want to see that thought until after you've finished down here. You might in your mind you might be done after you say down here. You know what I'm saying? It comes from in here and up here and down here. The only problem is we have, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know I was going to say that next line until
Yeah.
I got done with this thought. Then I had the next thought, which takes me to the only problem. And then you're looking for envy and you're looking for fear and you're looking for shame. And then you finish that little moment and then you go, you know what I want to mess with? I want to mess like that's a new thing that you also didn't know it was going to happen. What I'm feeling, again, I want to underline the good because it's a good thing. It's natural. It's huge. That's a big deal. So great. So now I say this sometimes in the comments, like it's good. Let's find great. That's what we're doing right now, right? So I think great is hiding behind uh, the thoughts coming in real time. I'm watching a natural performance of something that I know you know all the stuff. I want to see the thoughts happen in real time. So to that end, let's go back to the top, and I want you to drive to comes from in here and up here and down here, and then I want you to be done. until you have the thought of somebody who's looking at you doesn't quite get it yet. You're like, the only problem is this thing. You understand what I'm saying? And then I want
Yes.
you to finish that thought, right? Which is, I don't want to mess around with that shit. Do you? That's done. Maybe you were going to be done. You know what I want to mess with? I want to mess with, and that's the new thought.
Okay.
Tracking?
I had a tiny little thing. Do you mind if I say
Look
it?
at it.
There's three little moments in there that are throwaways that stitch it together, that you're hitting hard. All right, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And those you're hitting as if they're like really meaningful moments, when in fact, those are the things people say when they're not really they're thinking about the next thing they're going to say, and they throw those in. Like, you know? And you know what I mean? Like they're kind of,
Yeah, it's so funny how you said it because
Sure.
I, was like,
Okay.
I wanted to give you the freedom, Christine.
get rid of those if you need to.
Yeah, who cares? I don't care about that stuff.
Okay.
And matter of fact, to that end, I want to go one step further because I think this, not that you would necessarily be able to film this, maybe you could, but be word perfect if you want to. But also, Christine, you don't have to. Like, I just want you to, I know you know it and you're feeling it. So just deliver the message and have the thoughts.
Those are all interchangeable.
Yeah.
Those three. They could almost be there or not be there, or be really quick or under your breath, or, and in some ways,
This is the good stuff.
Yeah,
This
love
is
it.
the good stuff, Christine. Remember when I said you wanted to beat you up? You're like, yeah, sign me up. Here we
Well,
are.
I just meant like I was already beaten up, so what's one more?
Well, here we are.
each of these steps is making it so much more real
Yeah.
too. Like to hear you pause longer in between shame and those. It
All right, listen to me, Adam.
go.
Yeah. What?
Belief doesn't come just because you hang a fucking sign up on the wall. It comes from in here, and up here, and down here. The only problem, we've all got so much junk in our head that's messing with us. Things like resentment, guilt, feeling worthless, that you're not enough. I don't want to mess with that shit anymore. Do you? No, who does? I want to spend my time messing with the idea that I matter. Regardless of what I do or don't achieve. Or that we all deserve to be loved. Whether we've been hurt or maybe we've hurt somebody else. Or what about the belief of hope? Yeah. That's what I want to mess with. Believing that things will get better. That I can get better. That we will get better. Yeah. That's what I want to mess with. Because, God, to believe in yourself, to believe in one another, I mean, that's fucking fundamental to being alive. And if you can do that, if each of you can truly do that, no one is going to tear that apart. The end.
I'm so fucking good at this. Christine, it's fucking great.
Yes, so good.
I don't. Great.
That didn't sound like somebody wrote it. That sounded like it was just.
Yeah. So, because
Yeah.
I want to bring it back up. I want, big laugh, all the thing. Look around the gallery, see everybody.
Oh.
See how great that was. It's amazing. Amazing.
Think
Oh.
about horses. Think about horses.
Yes. Incredible. So let's take a moment. Stay light with me for both you and all the stuff. But I do want to help me understand philosophically for those watching
Yeah.
what just happened. What did you allow to happen? Which, by the way, needs to be your starting place. Always. Always and forever. And I don't mean like you need to be upset or you need to because different scenes are going to be different things. But philosophically, whatever mental place you're in going into this third take, this is where you need to start and what you need to ask of yourself. This was excellent work. Okay, so tell us what it was.
And I'm sure others can relate to, the make it natural, real, but not performance. I think prior to that, I would have thought, oh shit, if I did it like this, it would be performance. But when you said just, I think hearing that I had freedom, that I had permission, yeah, I owned that, baby. Like, that was my story. It was, I knew exactly who I was talking to when I said, to the person, that we all deserve to be loved. If you've been hurt, I mean, I can relate to that. Or maybe you've hurt somebody else. I think I was thinking of the exact person who's hurt.
Yes. The specificity, Christine, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So these are layers that we add, right, guys? So the first thing we've been working on is removing performance, which you guys saw Christine did in take one. There's no like everything's getting in the way and like, why are you pushing? That wasn't the case for you. And frankly, it hasn't been the case for you as an actor. Maybe not ever, but certainly in weeks. The stuff that I've seen of you. So that's great. But the specificity, it sounds like that you brought to this last take. This is the reason that the room, the metaphorical room, went quiet when you started, because you brought the specificity immediately. And that's what's interesting listening to a human, is watching all of the thoughts and I wanted to know. I knew you were talking to somebody, and I don't get to know as an audience. I don't get to know, and when I don't get to know, I put my own shit in there. If you'll show me a human who's thinking something specific, then first of all, I'm intrigued because it's interesting, the mystery of that, and then I fill in the blank as a human with my own sort of experience. But if you don't show me a human who is thinking things specifically, which is what humans do, then I'm just an audience member watching an actor, and that doesn't resonate with really anyone. So the specificity, it sounds like what you're talking about, of who you were talking to, your actual thoughts and your experiences, absolutely just took it from like a fine performance to a, who the fuck is this woman, and how have I never, I'm imagining watching this as an audition. Who is this person? How have I never heard of her before? We must bring her back immediately. And I want to do a super practical thing for anybody watching, because yes, Christine went off script in a couple of spots, used words instead of fear, envy, shame, things like whatever you said, by the way. It's just me, I can only ever speak for myself, but I would much rather, Christine, you submit the tape you just did with not word perfect and some other stuff than a word perfect version that was a good performance. 100%.
Yeah, you can always be directed back to the word.
Yeah, you can. That's a callback thing, or that's a on-set, scripty coming up in between. It's so funny. Well, I won't get lost in the weeds, but I will for a second because it's funny. We're going to bring it back up. One of the most upset I've ever been on set was, and everybody's trying to do their job, but we're in the heat of the moment. Scripty went up to my lead in the middle of an emotional scene and corrected a word that they got wrong from the script between take 2 and take 3 or whatever. And the next take that I saw was an actor trying to be word perfect instead of the human that I had spent the last 30 minutes getting to. And I went and asked the actor, wait, what's going on? Oh, I was trying to get the words right because so-and-so came and told me.
Job opening.
I had to be calmed down. All that to say, you'll have I don't know why I shared that. You'll have the time to do word perfect. What you just gave us is the way into the door, is the way you get the callback, is the way they ask you to come on set. So Christine, well done. I hope you're looking at everybody. We should all do the clapping and great stuff. And I'm not just saying this, I swear to God, because I know you've had a rough day and whatever. I swear, I would say it if the post I saw from you a few hours ago was like, this is the best day I've ever had in my entire life. I'd still be saying these things, just so you know. I hope that you believe that. That was incredible. That was take 2 to 3. That was incredible. So well done.
Thank you.
Specific.